morning. Looks like everybody's come in, gotten settled, so we'll go ahead and kick this off. Thank you so much for coming out for today's session on administration features in TestRail Enterprise. So we're really excited to show you what TestRail Enterprise is capable of and learn more about you and your team's unique testing needs. So we'll be walking you through single sign-on, project level administration, audit logging, email notification customization, our custom backup times and on-demand restoration, and our enhanced API performance and increased storage that you get with TestRail Enterprise. That is on the agenda today. So if you will bear with me for a second here, I'm going to switch over to the demonstration and feature tour that we got prepared for you.
TestRail Enterprise offers many features and benefits over the standard professional plan that can prove advantageous to teams of any size and experience level. Today we'll dive into how TestRail Enterprise lets your team scale, increase stakeholder visibility, and take control of QA processes across your organization. TestRail Enterprise features can be divided into two groups: administrative features that help IT teams, software administrators, team leads, and managers more effectively manage the tool from behind the scenes, and test case management features that will help users complete QA tasks in less time and more efficiently. Today, we'll be going over the administrative tools provided by the TestRail Enterprise plan, with the second webinar planned in the near future to go over the additional benefits to the broader QA team and the testing workflow. Today's topics include single sign-on, project-level administration, audit logging, email customization, custom backup times and on-demand restoration, enhanced API performance, and increased server storage. Let's start with single sign-on. SSO integration allows your organization to save time by streamlining user management efforts, reducing password fatigue, and improving identity protection. For today's examples, we'll be using Okta as our identity provider, configured using the SAML 2.0 protocol. But TestRail can integrate with almost any SSO provider, like Azure AD or Google Workspace, and supports multiple authentication protocols like SAML 2.0, OAuth, and OpenID. Setting up the integration is fairly straightforward, but does vary depending on the tool you're connecting with TestRail. We do provide documentation on the most popular options, and our enterprise support team can assist with securing the connection to tools not listed directly in the support center. There are a few key settings to note when initially configuring your SSO integration. Authentication fallback. If enabled, this allows users that have a traditional login, an email address and password, the ability to log in without going through the SSO system. Please note, users created through SSO do not have a password stored in the system and will need to create one in their account settings or using the forgot password prompt to use this feature. Also, by default, all global administrators of TestRail have this feature enabled to ensure access is available in the event of an issue with the SSO provider. Disable this to force all users to log in exclusively through single sign-on. Create account on first login. This option allows identity provider administrators to add the user to the TestRail system directly through their SSO system, and the user account to be fully created in TestRail when the user logs in for the first time. If disabled, a user account must be created in TestRail separately before the user would be able to log in through SSO. If you already have an established user base when enabling SSO for the first time, you may need to enable single sign-on for those established users. This setting is available when editing users either individually or in bulk. Now that we've gone over options for user management and authentication, let's take a look at some of the advanced user management features that come with TestRail Enterprise in the form of project-level administration. Project-level administration allows system administrators to create granular new roles with specific permissions that grant administrative control for team leads and managers over the projects they are spearheading. These permissions can allow project admins to edit many of the settings and customization of the projects they're working on, including adding new projects or updating existing project settings like the project type, adding new users and managing user access, creating project-specific integrations with issue trackers and project management tools, and creating custom fields and test case templates for use in their project. Creating a new project admin role is simple, and you have granular control over what the users can and cannot access while assigned to the role. Once a user has been given the newly created role, projects can be assigned to them, after which point they'll be able to take over the administration of that project. When logging in as a project admin, you will see a more focused administration menu containing all of the project-specific features you have control over. Some features, like creating a new custom test case field, will automatically select specific settings, like limiting the field and configured options to your assigned projects. This gives you the power to custom tailor the experience for your team within your project without affecting other teams in your organization. The next enterprise exclusive feature we want to highlight is the audit log. Audit logging gives administrators a detailed look at all actions being taken by all users within your TestRail instance to maintain a complete record of entity changes. To find it, head to the Site Settings section of the Administration menu, then go to the Audit tab. Here, the first thing you'll see is the log itself, with tabs for configuration and export. You can customize the audit level, enabling you to update the logs to be more or less detailed in the interactions that are recorded. Selecting Off disables logging completely, Low will capture only deletions, Medium captures updates and deletions, and High captures all creations, updates, and deletions of all testing entities within TestRail. On this page, you can also select the number of rows to display on the log page and the maximum number of records and days before log entries are removed from the instance's log file. At maximum, records will be maintained for up to 90 days or 10 million log entries, whichever comes first. Heading back to the log itself, you can see the different data points that are captured. Date, when the action took place, the project, where in TestRail that action took place, the entity type, the kind of entity or thing the action affected, the entity ID, which is the specific thing the action took place on, the action, what was done, the author, who did the thing, and the mode, how it was done either via the UI or via the API. Looking at the log can be a little overwhelming, especially in particularly busy instances, but there are filtering options to locate all records based on any of the specific data points that are captured. This gives you the ability to easily locate all interactions based on whatever criteria you need. For instance, if we need to find interactions done by a specific user within a certain project, or see how many test runs were created via the UI within the last week, we can easily set up those filters and view only those records. And if you need even more direct control over the data present in the audit log, or need to share the log with stakeholders outside of the TestRail administrators, you can export the data in the audit log to a CSV file. Exports can be done on the Export tab, where you'll receive a compressed file containing multiple CSV entries with the full log, or you can apply filters to the main log page and export only the data you need with the Export button found there. Another useful feature of TestRail Enterprise is the ability to customize all of the emails that are sent out from TestRail. Custom email notifications let you customize your system emails and notifications so all stakeholders receive updates relevant to them. Heading to the Email section of the administration settings, you'll first see the option to enable or disable all of the various system emails that TestRail can send, giving you control of what content TestRail sends out. Below that, there's also a drop-down for editing the email templates, where you can select which email you'd like to update. When selected, you can view the current template, then hit Edit to make changes. You can add any additional text you'd like and update the email with the variables shown on the right to further customize the email, including your own logos or additional data relevant to the email type. There are a few behind-the-scenes enhancements that you get with cloud instances of TestRail Enterprise. With TestRail Professional, all instances are limited to 50 gigabytes of server storage, which can be increased in 10 gigabyte increments up to a total of 250 for an increased monthly payment. With TestRail Enterprise, you start with 500 gigabytes of space, giving you plenty of room to grow your instance and even add large attachments to your test cases and results without worrying about running out of space. Besides the storage space, TestRail Enterprise Cloud users will also benefit from improved API bandwidth, allowing for up to 300 API calls per minute, up from the TestRail Professional's 180, so that you can integrate your entire DevOps stack without worry, from CI/CD tools like Jenkins to BI tools like Tableau. A simple but powerful feature in TestRail Cloud Enterprise is the option to select your own backup time and process full database restores yourself with the push of a button. By default, we perform a daily backup of all TestRail Cloud instances between the hours of 2 to 6 a.m. UTC, which takes a full snapshot of the state of the database and puts each instance into a maintenance state for a few seconds. With this feature, you can select the window of time the backup is taken for your specific instance, which can benefit teams using CI/CD tools or long-running automation scripts, or with globally distributed QA teams to ensure they are backed up outside of any heavy usage timeframes. The restore function included in this feature allows an administrator to select any daily backup from the past week and restore it with one click. For non-enterprise teams, our support engineers can assist with restoring a backup. There is generally a little bit of back and forth required to ensure we're restoring the correct day, whereas enterprise users get to take total control of which backup is restored and when. Finally, the last enterprise feature we'd like to discuss today is the enhanced support benefits. As an enterprise user, you'll have access to an enterprise-specific priority support queue, ensuring your tickets will be addressed as quickly as possible. You can also work with the enterprise support team to schedule direct calls and screen share sessions with support engineers to assist in troubleshooting or walkthroughs demonstrating how to set up or utilize TestRail. Additionally, you can also set up annual training sessions for your whole team that you can customize with topics of your choosing to go over specific product features, workflows, or just product basics, which can be recorded and used for onboarding as you add new users to your TestRail instance.
All right. So that was our overview demo of all the features that we wanted to show you today. So now we have the remainder of the time to get to know you, answer any questions that you might have, talk more about how TestRail Enterprise can work to help your unique needs. So please do not be shy. Get your questions, get your comments in the Q&A, and we would love to just have some time for discussion with you all. Awesome. Good. Looks like we got one in here from Dan. Andre, you want to take it away?
Yes, of course. So Dan is asking, where can I find more information on how to set up SSO with Active Directory? So we have a lot of documentation on how to integrate with different SSO providers. Actually, I'm gonna reply in written form to you with a link to the specific guide on how to connect with Active Directory for SSO. And I hope it helps. I'm typing in right now. So here's the link for Active Directory. So yes, Margarita is asking if we can explain how to connect tests with Jira or Confluence. So this webinar is more related to enterprise features. Those connections are a part of our professional version. So not they are not enterprise specific, but I will explain a little bit. So for Jira, you can link it in two ways, for references and defects. So starting with references, what you do is you link your Jira instance with TestRail to establish the connection for test cases or test runs to keep track of the coverage. So if you have like a new feature, user story, epic in Jira, and you want to add some test cases or some test runs to it, you can just add the reference to those in TestRail, and the link will be established both ways. So you can see some information of your Jira ticket in TestRail, and you can also see some details about the test cases and the test executions on your Jira instance. For defects, basically what we provide is the ability to link defects with different executions. So if you are testing and you find a new defect, you can just directly create it from within TestRail with a push functionality. You don't need to go into Jira. And by doing that, you are creating it from TestRail, and it will appear on your Jira, and it will be linked to the specific test case that you were going forward with while you found the new defect. If it's not a part of a test, a specific test, you can also push defects from anywhere. That is also possible. Yes, and then the second part of the question was regarding Confluence. So in our documentation, you can also find some info about it. And basically, you can publish the dynamic dashboards that are in TestRail. You can publish them in your Confluence instance. So there's also the possibility to link with Confluence. Then on also another integration tool, basically everything I just said for Jira is also possible for Azure DevOps. So you can establish the connection for references and defects. It's the same. So we have integrations with both of those tools. Actually, we integrate with basically every issue tracker on the market on those two ends for references and for defects. So even if you don't find your issue tracker, the tool you are using, in the list of integrations, of TestRail, you can look for URL integration of references, URL integration of defects, and other tools may be supported. There are a lot of different tools in the market, and almost every week I learn of a new tool that we are able to integrate with, even though it's not on our documentation. So it shouldn't be a problem. Then, is there any way of getting notifications from TestRail when people update, delete a test case, etc., similar to the log, but directly with emails? So you can configure what are the emails that you want your TestRail instance to send to your users through the administration panel in the site settings. It's possible to add notifications for when test cases are assigned to a specific user, for when test cases, the status of test cases change. A lot of different triggers can be used to basically send notifications via email to your users, and that is you are able to configure that as a TestRail administrator in the administration panel under site settings and email. From an admin point of view, isn't there a website indicating current status of TestRail servers status? Maybe you're asking about the cloud-hosted solution to see if it's up. There is a website. I just need to.
I think I have it.
You have it? All right. So Jaslyn
I did.
will share it with you, and you can see the status of the cloud-hosted solution, which is almost always 24/7 throughout the year up. Sometimes, of course, we may have minor hiccups, but there's not really a downtime. I would say that 99, the figure you just put up of the 99.99996 can be pretty accurate because actually the cloud hosted version is hosted by AWS, and you can also see in the page that Jaslyn just shared, the history of the hiccups that might have occurred, and you can see that they are very, very rare, and they are not major in any way. So that shouldn't be an issue. Keep in mind, we have some customers in very multiple industries, some of them very serious industries like pharmaceutical, even aerospatial entities like NASA. So that shouldn't be a big deal. I believe it's done for today.
I know. I was about to say, it looks like everybody's heading out, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. All right. Thanks so much for joining today, everybody. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.